restart it?
Yeah, so basically just let it go here for a little bit.
Oh, you want me to...
Yeah, go for a little bit. I got my helpers here today. Let's see, I was staying with a fam. Say what's going on.
Hi.
Hey! My kid helpers. So, I'll come out here on the balcony. See how the video works on this thing. What's going on, Coin Pilot? In Vancouver, BC. Nice skyline. Nice little spot. So we're staying in this little Airbnb spot here. It's pretty nice. So that's the Vancouver city skyline in the background here. So you're gonna be my camera guy here. So we can just hold this, and then if you need to, you're gonna pop it back in there. Sweet, I got my camera crew, my volume, nice. Okay, so big story of today is Bitcoin Cash and the breakout that it had. The title of my videos, it's currently #1 on the top, it's the #1 traded pair on the top 8 exchanges on CoinMarketCap. It's doing about $2 billion in trading on BitThumb in just that exchange alone. The trading volume has come up quite a bit. Let's take a look at the exchanges and currencies. So here, let's bring this. So I'm going to flip this around. Always on the road. 4 different cities, 4 different days. BitThumb doing about 2 million in trading here. 70% of the largest exchange here. It's gone up tremendously, along with Ethereum. Ethereum hitting new all-time highs at 418, 420 or so. Bitfinex, the Hong Kong exchange, is also seeing a huge rise. About 30% of the volume is in Bitcoin Cash. Bitcoin and Ethereum still kind of dominating the market. You can see all of the different pairs here. But that's the kind of the big story of the day, is just the volumes of Bitcoin, Bitcoin Cash. Let's come up here. I'm going to come into the currency. You can see the volume is up almost 32.5%. Substantial amount of that is all in about half of it is in that one exchange. Yeah, Ethereum's really come up quite a bit. That was one that Coin Pilot gave me some a little bit of info on. The Ethereum, just in general, has been trading a lot higher. The volumes have come up about 13%. Yeah, just bought more Bitcoin 10 minutes ago. What's going on, BT Houston? Rick Stone. Should you buy BCash? Well, if you were watching my videos 2 days ago, that was my recommendation, as I was thinking it was poised for a breakout, and here it is trading, over Bitcoin again. We haven't seen, like, looking at the hash rates here, we haven't seen the, I'm going to refresh this. So you kind of saw them hit a little bit of a double top here at 13. I thought it was going to come down substantially here, and we'd see a little bit of a rise, something similar to what we had saw a little bit while back. Hash rates came back up, and they're kind of currently dropping again. So you saw a little bit of a slow rise here, but really just the volume of trading has really been the story here, where the volume of trading, this is an old one, let me refresh this here, but it's just really come up quite a bit. At one point this was 30%, and consequently you're also seeing Bitcoin come down, and you see the price to Bitcoin on a lot of these all currencies. Ethereum, Bitcoin Cash, the big winners of today. IOTA coming back down after having some pretty significant gains over the last several days to the week. List coming back down a little bit, but yeah, Ethereum Classic also kind of coming up with Ethereum as well at almost about 4.5%, 5%. So that's interesting little trend. Let's come into switch this around. All right, want to be my cameraman again? Sweet. Come into the news a little bit. I think JP Morgan will make its Bitcoin futures announcement tomorrow on Black Friday. Interesting. So I know that they were kind of working on a little bit of some projects behind this. Let's take a look and see what we can find. Oops, GP. Yeah, Bitcoin futures trading. That's a CNBC article. Let's bring this up a little bit. I'll switch this around. This is an article on CNBC 2 days ago talking about JP Morgan getting into Bitcoin futures trading. So, interesting a little bit. Some audio came up. There's some audio with him talking here. What's he saying?
Eventually it'll blow up. It's a fraud.
Eventually it'll blow up. It's a fraud. As he's investing in futures trading. Yeah. Alright, let me bring that back a little bit. So, we'll see. I mean, I think that you're going to see some of these stock companies or more financial companies in the New York that are regulated more by the New York Stock Exchange. And I think from a legality standpoint, the Bitcoin futures and some of those different financial assets are things that are a little bit better if you're just kind of. I think what it does is it actually keeps. It's like it's like some sort of bet on the market where you're still kind of in fiat, but it's. Because like what is the point of Bitcoin futures? Like that's I guess something I have to do a little bit of research on, as opposed to just buying Bitcoin. Oops, let's do this. Do you know of a Bitcoin ATM in North Vancouver? My wife is living there. I'd like her to try Canadian dollars in my cryptos. I'm here in Vancouver right now, so I'm gonna be on the lookout a little bit. But yeah, that would be really cool. I just use pretty much my my BitPay card if I need to pull out some cash. But let's see. I know that they're starting. There's several in Seattle. Yeah, there's a few here. It looks like Bitcoin ATM. So you can see the map a little bit here, downtown Vancouver. So there's a few Bitcoin store, Bitcoin Bionic. So Bitcoin ATM. This is a little bit of this is like Coin at M Radar. It gives you an idea, a little bit of a situation here. So I might have to check this out. Well, I guess it's got 17. See if I can zoom in here. So currently I'm staying in an Airbnb right on this side of the water over here, and they've got Bitcoin ATMs all over downtown, it looks like. So it's good. I might have to do a video on this. But yeah, let me show you guys a little bit that maybe weren't on my live stream a little bit. This is a nice little spot here in Vancouver, BC. Nice little skyline view. Real nice. I'll have to do it a little bit more in the daytime so you guys can see. This is a beautiful city. Hey Clover, just wanted to swing by and tell you you're the person I listen to most in the BCC community, and I really appreciate your shared opinions and thoughts. Appreciate that, Zerpence. Cool backing vibes, misty indie mix. Yeah, it's actually supposed to be like a reggaeton mix. That's oh, it's saying very bad connection. I hope this is coming through on the stream okay. I think the sign of big banks wading into the market will cause a huge surge in Bitcoin. Just my thoughts. Work. You can also buy silver and gold with Bitcoin, then resell the silver or gold for fiat. Were you a professional football player? Yeah, I played for the Seahawks, the Redskins, and the Saints from 2005 to 2007. And I played over in Europe. I played some arena ball in Louisiana and Texas. It was kind of a southern league down there for a little while. It wasn't the best for my health. I ended up getting hurt, twisted my ankle, and then like broke 2 ribs. Yeah, that would be great if you were able to document actual withdrawal in any Bitcoin ATM there, bro. Keep it up much. All right. Yeah, I'll have to do that. So I'm gonna do that tomorrow. So I'm gonna pull out. See, I just go to any regular ATM and just pull out cash. So it's not necessarily the same where it's trading in Bitcoin. So I want to see if see what I can do to actually pull out Bitcoin of one of the Bitcoin to fiat here, I guess, at one of these Bitcoin ATMs. We'll see how that works. I'll do a little bit on that. But yeah, I've got the family here. Where'd Kate go? Is he hiding back there?
I think he left. I don't know.
He didn't. My little nephew, he's got no patience. How are you handling taxes? So that's going to be the big question. You know, taxes is going to be one that I think I'm going to have to get some other opinions on. So I have some different opinions on what I'm going to be trying to do with some of my cryptocurrency assets in my portfolio. I'm going to have to be a little bit more diligent on that. I mean, for the most part, what I've done, you know, before is I haven't really been claiming it, and that's been what most of the people have done. But at this point, it's a little bit different because of the incomes have come up quite a bit. So, like for instance, you know, I would just buy stuff on Bittrex or Poloniex or whatever, and it was being held in crypto. And as long as you're not really pulling out, you're not realizing profits, you're not impacting. It's essentially kind of like a stock, and so you're going to be. I hadn't claimed it at that point, but I've been pulling out a lot more in Coinbase. I mean, there was probably like 2 weeks I was like selling like $1,000 in Bitcoin every day, just to pay off like some credit card debt and some other things. But yeah, I have to look into that a little bit more, and I'm looking to network with some CPAs and some accountants and some lawyers and see a little bit more of what their thoughts are on that whole process. But I'm very interested in it. It seems to me like some people in the community have some different tactics perhaps on how they're going to be you know, paying or avoiding taxes. Hey Clover, I will be at the Blockchain Expo Santa Clara. We'd be open to connecting. What are you going to the BitConnect yacht party? Yeah, yeah, I should be down there Tuesday for that. I'm going to be staying until like Saturday. So yeah, just send me an email, cryptoclover@gmail.com. I've had several people that reached out that wanted to connect while I'm down there. So yeah, looking forward to that because I'm going to be heading out to Asia not soon after that. Going maybe to Modesto, LA area, and then going over to Asia. Here in Sweden, the description of Bitcoin is pretty much exactly the same as a stock. Crypto tax pros will be a huge asset going forward. There's a couple of guys in the community that are doing it. There's the Crypto CPA on Instagram. He's been posting some interesting, you know, things. He's basically trying to keep. He's the only one really posting online about, you know, what you should and shouldn't be doing to a certain extent. He doesn't really go into a whole lot of detail, but I'm sure he just started his account, I think, not too long ago. So it'll be interesting to see kind of how that transpires. But that's kind of his little niche there. I'm curious to see how he does. But there's other people that might be a little bit more knowledgeable in that space. Yeah, which means you only tax on your gains. I mean, pretty much, I think that's going to be the way that I'm going to be looking at it is taxing on gains in crypto, and I think that's the way to go about it, at least for this year. Things might change moving forward. I think that they're going to be doing some different regulations in that area. However, you know, I'm kind of looking to basically get outside of the U.S. Into countries that are much more favorable. The one I really want to check out is Korea. We have you know, 4 of the top 8 exchanges currently right now are in Korea, are doing just a tremendous amount of volume. I think there's a lot more openness to that there. Apparently, I mean, it doesn't seem like the Korean government is really I think they're open and favorable to that type of innovation. But yeah, I want to check a little bit more into a few things that I was seeing on the market, and then I'm probably going to get off the stream here. We're going to be heading out to a nice place to get some Thanksgiving dinner. A couple other things I wanted to kind of show you guys, different things I was seeing. There's a huge story in Cointelegraph here that was basically saying that Kazakhstan is waking up to cryptocurrency. I'll switch this around so you guys can see. This was an interesting, like, I'm going to be over in this area, and so they're really considering it, and it says here, considering state licensing of blockchain and cryptocurrency to promote usage and acceptance as an emerging, asset in this country. So they're basically kind of getting into trying to make it very favorable to do Bitcoin in some of these countries, and I think this will be kind of like a growing trend that you're going to see. So some of I'm looking to potentially go over to kind of the Middle East here for a little bit, and also into India. It'll be interesting to kind of see what's going on out there, but also I'm really interested to kind of, head out to Korea and do some tours of some of these exchanges. They're actually open to that. They're going to be they're allowing people to kind of come in and do tours of some of these exchanges. And so BitThumb in particular, the largest one in the world, I'm looking forward to going out there and doing a full tour of the facilities there, because I don't know if I've seen anything on YouTube where anyone's really done that yet. I'm going to stay on for another couple of minutes. What do you think about BitConnect, especially with some of the big YouTubers pulling out? Do you think it's going to last? It's always the question. It's like, when do you think, or how long do you think BitConnect's going to last and whatnot? And I think, I don't know if really anyone's going to be able to give a very good estimation of that. I think that we don't really know enough about the technology behind the scenes to know how sustainable the model is, and that's kind of by design. So I think for most people, it's I would kind of recommend investing, only money that you can afford to lose. It has a really good track record, has really good history. It's been performing really well over this time period. I think a lot of people's fear is that it's just, one of these days it's going to go away like some of these other platforms. However, you have to look at this a little bit differently, because it is a coin. It is tokenized. It's it's got a blockchain. It's on CoinMarketCap. It's much different. You can't really compare the BitConnect platform to a lot of these other lending platforms. So it's had the best track record, and that's really what you have to kind of go on at this point. I mean, you could say the same thing about hey, I put money in Ethereum, earlier this year, and I've only made, so much money out of that. Right now it's hitting all-time highs, but something like that is, I guess the way I kind of look at comparing it, it's done a lot better than a lot of the other alt currencies. It's been one of the best performing alt currencies of 2017. It's actually been the best performing one. I don't know of another one that's really outperformed it. It's been a huge topic. It's, for better or worse, it's the marketing behind it has really sucked up a lot of time, effort, and energy from a lot of these YouTubers that are going on and either for or against it. So I don't see it shutting down anytime soon. Some people have put their predictions in for like sometime next year. They're coming out with a new roadmap. They're going to be partnering with vendors. There's a lot of money behind the platform, so it's something I'm going to be continuing to invest in. What do you think about all the hacking that's going on? I've never had an issue. Yeah, fake hacks. I mean, you know, some people are going to have different opinions about that. I don't know. You know, it's certainly possible that some of these things could have happened, but it seems a little like some of the stories coming out. There's been a lot of criticism behind it, and a lot of people are kind of calling bullshit on it. So but it's hard to say because no one really knows, you know, what's going on. Clover, are you prepared to be a billionaire from BitConnect and deal with being targeted by the mafia? I don't understand why the mafia would be after me if I was a billionaire in BitConnect. I don't see myself becoming... there's no billionaires in BitConnect or even close. There's millionaires. I've met a lot of millionaires. You know, the coin itself is only a $2.5 billion market cap. Now that could grow. You know, are we going to see a billionaire in BitConnect? Who knows? If it's around long enough, certainly. If that's the way that a lot of this is trending. Organized crime is probably going to be all over BitConnect accounts. Yeah, I don't know. So I mean, there's been a lot of YouTubers that are talking about hacking and that sort of thing. I don't know. Like I haven't dealt with it. A lot of users have made a lot of money in crypto this year, and I think that's most people's assumption is that somehow they're going to try to tie this to tax. The way I understand it, it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense because if you still made those gains, you know, whether or not, you know, you got it stolen or not, you still need to pay money on, or you still need to pay taxes on those gains. Like the government doesn't care, you know, whether it was stolen or not. It was, you know, but I don't know, like with a lot of these reports, I didn't hear anything about a police report or anything being, you know, done on that respect. So that's another reason it doesn't seem as official, and I think that's why a lot of people are still skeptical, especially with the timing of some of these different events. What are your top 5 picks for 2018? That's a good question. I would say, so I don't think Bitcoin Cash is a good buy right now, but I would put Bitcoin Cash on that list. I would put Dash, Monero, Neo, and probably BitConnect at this point. I think those would be my top 5. Just kind of looking over the list, I think those have the top 5 to grow over the coming years here. I've been was hearing a lot about IOTA. It's not really being traded on a lot of the different exchanges, and it's just, I don't know, it's just something about it. Like I haven't gotten into it yet, but we were talking about it not too long ago when it was at 41, 42 cents, and then it just doubled over about a week. It's being traded pretty heavily in Bitfinex, about half the volumes in Bitfinex and Binance. So it's being traded in Hong Kong pretty heavily. So that's where I see the traffic. Binance and Bitfinex are all in Hong Kong. So that's something to take note of. The thing with IOTA is that it uses Tangle instead of blockchain, which makes it insanely much faster. They want it to be the Internet of Things. So, I don't know enough, I guess, about the technology behind. Maybe if I go to some of these places and I'm able to interact a little bit more face-to-face. I don't know if where this project is essentially located. I know the traffic is in some of these exchanges, and that's why I had some interest in going and doing a little bit more behind the scenes on some of these. Yeah, I don't know about Ripple. Ripple has been, it's shot up earlier, but it really hasn't, you know, shown me a whole lot. BCC is mineable, it's just not really profitable to mine. politically incorrect. So you can, but it was being mined in China, and I think that I don't know what the regulations with that, how the mining hash rate has been allocated. I know a lot of it was centered in China. If the BCC shut down their platform, what happened to BCC coins? Can they be converted to BTC or USD? Be banned from all exchanges. So I mean, essentially, I think you're looking at worst case scenario with that. I mean, if the BitConnect platform shut down, obviously you wouldn't be able to take anything out of the platform. So there's that. If you had the coins in another platform like Livecoin or Nova Exchange or Hit BTC, you could potentially sell them if the order book were still there or people were still throwing money behind it. I think one of the things that is interesting to note is there was a few times in the past where the website went down and you saw people still buying and selling on other exchanges. So there was a lot of people that were panic selling, and then smarter investors were kind of looking at the market and they were seeing that they didn't believe that there was a problem necessarily behind BitConnect, especially if you're a little bit more involved in the community or you know a little bit more about what's going on. You saw a lot of those guys buying. I think that was one of the things I mentioned. I think it was in July and August when we were having some of these dips. People are asking me like, "What's going on?" I'm like, "Price is low. I'd buy right now." Like, price is way low. That's what I would do. I have about 80K in BitConnect, 100K in HextraCoin. All right, yeah, a little bit of diversification is good. I haven't gotten into HextraCoin. I want to see a little more from that platform before I start promoting any of these. There's one I'm kind of looking at right now. So if I do, I'm going to probably do a video on some of these pretty soon. What do you think about Aatrox? Let's look that one up. Yeah, I can't find that one. Let me do a little search on it. Yeah, it's like I don't know about this one. Like, I looked it up on CoinMarketCap, couldn't find anything, and essentially just kind of looking it up here, you're getting a little bit of information on it, but it's another kind of lending platform, something that it looks like. So I don't really support a whole lot of other lending platforms, at least not yet. I need to do a little bit more information on that. Appreciate that critical thinking. Why doesn't BitConnect decentralize their back-end exchange? I think the idea behind the whole platform is to make everything decentralized. I'm not sure what they need to do in order to kind of make that happen. I know that there's some development on the back end that's still a little bit more kept from the public, but some of the things I've been hearing, that's what I have. I've been hearing on that. This is the best channel there is and level of honesty here. Appreciate that. Yeah, I'm trying to, trying not to, pump, things that I don't know a whole lot about. And you see some people are just getting out and they're promoting because that's what it pays, to do. Like, get into this, get into that, sign up under me, when they don't really know anything about cryptocurrency. I mean, a lot of the promoters right now for some of these platforms, including BitConnect, they're not the most knowledgeable people on buying, selling, trading cryptocurrencies. They're more, they're probably better. They're better at marketing. They're getting people, signed up underneath them or whatever. Like, that seems to be more of something that they're focused on. I've always kind of been more focused on the market, and that's kind of where I want to keep my focus. And so I don't really see a whole lot of people talking about some of the things I'm talking about. I pretty much called Bitcoin Cash like 2 days ago. I knew that thing was going to go on a tear just based on some of the things I've been seeing, and it's up to like $1,700-1,800 now. So hopefully some of you guys, I hope some of you guys, who were following my channel, got into Bitcoin Cash 2 days ago when I was kind of talking about that. It made about a 50% increase in these last couple of days. I think it's still going to come up a little bit as we get into the weekend. Maybe starting to dip it back down around Saturday, Sunday, and really starting to kind of dip on Tuesday, depending on where we see hash rates. But in terms of like the alt currency market, that was really where I saw things going. And I think you start to see things level out a little bit. You'll see, Bitcoin tends to come down on the weekends, and it tends to kind of come up in price on like a Tuesday, Wednesday. People get out of the alt currency market, go back to work, or what have you. That tends to be kind of a little bit of the weekly fluctuation that you get. It doesn't always turn out that way, and a lot of that can have a lot to do with what's going on around the world. I always try to look at what's going on in Asia first before I kind of start looking out at some of the rest of the activity around the space to kind of see where I feel like the market's going. Right now, you've seen a big pullback. So what's the market cap? It was about 250 yesterday. The market cap now is, I think it was about 234. Let's refresh this a little bit. 256. How did that? Oh, okay. Okay. I guess it's come up a little bit. I was probably looking at some bad information. I was seeing like a $236 market cap not too long ago. I don't think the whole cryptocurrency market as a whole has come up then. I think I was looking at an old web page. But yeah, Bitcoin Cash is kind of the big one. It came way up. It's kind of leveled out a little bit. I still think it has room to grow with the volumes that we're seeing right now. As long as the volumes remain high, I still think it's going to come up a little bit. But I do think it's going to come crash back down to maybe the $1,200, $1,300, $1,400 levels. Maybe sometime mid next week. Maybe a good time to get in if we kind of see this as a growing trend. But it's being traded very heavily in the top 8 exchanges, and I think that's a very interesting trend and thing to take note of. It's the problem with anonymous cryptocurrencies. You cannot get help from the police. What website are you looking at hash rate? So that was a fork.lol is one I use for Bitcoin Cash hash rates on the SHA 256 algorithm. I'm looking forward to finding some other websites where I can kind of monitor the hash rates of some of the other currencies, because that's a really good insight into kind of what's going on behind the scenes. You start to see some strange activity with some of these alt currencies. A lot of that might either have to do with trading activity in some of the exchanges around the world, might have to do with hash rate, might have to do with different arbitrage opportunities, whale trading. It could be a whole host of a lot of different things. When you are looking at some of the top market coins, typically you don't see as much of this really kind of erratic trading activities you might see with some of the smaller market coins where the price can be manipulated a little bit more. It's a little bit harder to do that with a $1 billion market coin, which the top about 13 or 14 coins are at this point. They're over $1 billion. Based on a couple of different factors, you can kind of see where things are going. I mean, and just a little bit of history with kind of what's going on in the market. I think that once you start to see things kind of taper down, like Ethereum had a really good run and then kind of tapered off, and basically it's kind of staying at that 350 mark for a long time. And now we saw that it's just kind of starting to break out a little bit. So I think you'll see prices with Ethereum come up over the weekend, and I think you'll start to see them dissipate on Sunday, Monday, Tuesday a little bit, and consequently that's probably when you'll see Bitcoin's price come up. It'll be interesting to see how Bitcoin Cash continues. I estimate it's going to be up. It's going to come up a little bit before dropping back down on the weekend. All right, guys, I think I'm gonna call that a stream. I've been on a little bit longer than I normally am, but I wanted to thank you guys for staying on. I'll try to bring you another cool spot maybe tomorrow. I'll try to find a cool spot to live stream from. Other than that, like and subscribe. I'll catch you guys on the next one.